Okay, good morning. I want to show you a little known feature that exists in the Back at You Office account today that is QR codes and a way that you can add those QR codes to your open house flyers. So we're going to start right here. We can see I've logged into my office account. For today, I'm going to be using this property here. This is Rick Jackson's property up in Coarsegold, and he's just had a price reduction. So we're going to do an updated flyer on it, which I've already done and saved to my desktop because that's another video on how to make the open house flyers. So this is the listing that I found just going through the front end of our website. I would recommend possibly using the actual single property website as the destination for the QR code. And what I mean by that is see all of this kind of word lettuce up here where it's slash this, the address, and a whole bunch of numbers. You can use this one, or you can use the single property website, which is nice and clean, which is always going to be the property address, the property street name, .cbstar.com. And this is the actual single property website for this listing. And all of the listings have a single property website just like this. It's always going to be 123 Main Street.cbstar.com. So you can see all of the property photos here. It has lead capture information here. It's got Rick's information here. You can click on any of it. So this would be the website that I would use for the QR code destination. What a QR code is, it's a little square code that you can scan with your phone's camera, and it will take you to a website usually. Sometimes it can be like you can download a PDF file from it, but for today we're just going to use the website. So this is a good thing to put on your open house flyers because people can scan it with their phone, and then they can go and look at the rest of the property listings if they've only just picked up the flyer at the property itself. Okay, so let's get to it. I'm going to show you guys in here. I've already downloaded the image itself, or the file itself, on my desktop, which you can see right here. Here's the property flyer in all of its glory. I said price improvement. You can add price reduction, whichever you want. So this is the flyer that we're working with right now for Rick. So we're going to insert a QR code onto this one. So Back at You on your dashboard here, you're going to come over here to the tools and preferences right here. Click on this. Underneath the standard ones right here, there is a QR code generator. So we're going to click on that. This is really easy. You can decide what size QR code you want to download. I do usually go with medium or large just so the resolution is nice. And really, all you're going to do here is you're going to copy and paste. So I'm going to do Control C. I'm going to go back into my office window, and I'm going to Control V. So I've got the website address right here, and then I'm going to click Finish. This is going to generate the QR code right here. So I'm going to go ahead and right-click on it and save the image. I'm going to just go ahead and save it to my desktop as the QR code for Rick, or however you want to name it. It doesn't matter, just so you can find it later. So now that's downloaded to my desktop. So now I've got the two components I need. I have my flyer and I have the QR code. So if you have the full version of Adobe, then it is really easy to insert that. So you're just going to actually open the image itself here, and you're going to go click on Edit, and you're going to add an image. So we're going to add that image that we just saved to our desktop, which is right here. So we can decide wherever we want to insert this. You can make it small right here. You can kind of overlap it right there a little bit and maybe shrink it down a bit. There we go. You can crop this image if you want, if you've got the full version here. Kind of however you want to roll with it. And then I'm going to add some text here too. So I'm going to click on a text box, and I'm going to type in "scan this code to see more property photos." I'm going to kind of edit that a little bit. So right now it's at a smaller font, so we'll make it a little bit bigger. If you want, you can adjust that. So that's how to add the QR code. So at this point, we would just save it. save it here, and then when you print it out, it's going to have all of that information in there. So if you wanted, if you wanted to add the QR code and you don't have the full version of Adobe, then you would need to convert the PDF file into a file that you can manipulate. The Back at You Office system always downloads all of those flyers in a PDF format to be printed. So if you don't have a PDF full version, like you can't make edits to it with Adobe Reader, which is the full version, you would need Adobe Acrobat. If you don't have that, then you can use an online file converter to convert that to like Microsoft PowerPoint if you want. So I just did a quick Google search for convert PDF to PowerPoint, literally. So this is a converter that I've used in the past. It's called smallpdf.com. It's really easy to do. You just click on that here and you go ahead and choose your file that you want to convert. So we're going to convert this file right here and click open. So it's uploading the file right now. There we go, and converting it to a PowerPoint for us. Ignore all the pop-ups. I'm going to go ahead and download that file straight to our computer. So now that same flyer is in a PowerPoint format. So let's go ahead and open that up and take a quick look at it. So sometimes when you convert files, the fonts don't always necessarily transfer over, so we may have to make some small adjustments to it. Honestly, this one looks fine for the most part. There's no like really big noticeable spacing issues or anything like that. So that one looked like it went really well, which is nice. So now we're in PowerPoint. So now it's really easy for us to add those images and get into. So in PowerPoint, we're going to go to Insert, Picture from this device. Remember, it's in our Downloads folder, that QR code. Oh, no, I'm sorry, it's on our desktop. It's in the QR code that we downloaded from Back at You earlier. And so we're going to do the same thing where we just place it where we want it to be. If you want to right click on it, you can again crop it and make it so that white section's not quite as big. You can see there if you want to. Again, that's just being fussy. So you don't really need to worry about it if you don't want to. Get it to be the size that you want. Same thing. And then we're going to go ahead and insert a text box. So we're going to insert the same thing. We're going to click there. I'm going to say scan code to see more property photos. And we're going to move that around so it's what we want it to be. The font right now is the size 18, so I'm going to drop that down a little bit to maybe like a 12 so it doesn't take up so much space. So now we've got that QR code in there. So we would just at this point save it, and you can just print it as is, as a normal thing. Just save and print, or you can convert it back to a PDF if you want and print it, which isn't necessary here. But if we were to go to print, this is what the print would look like if we were to print it. So now I'm going to show you what that looks like on an actual printed form. Okay, so I just got back from the printer. I have my handy dandy actual property flyer right here. You can see it's got all of the goods in there, along with my little QR code right here. So in case you don't know how QR codes work, what you do is that any smartphone that you have, just going to open that one up, you're going to open up your camera function. So for me, my camera function is right here, like that, so I can scan. And I'm going to literally scan over. Let's see if I can do this way. Bear with me here. I'm going to hold my flyer up, and I'm going to scan the image with my phone. So it's going to recognize it, and it's going to ask to open up right there. Open in Safari. It's asking to open up that link. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to take me right to the CB Star website. You can see that the photos and things like that are loading there. So that's that nice, clean site that's literally just all about Rick Jackson. So if I were to scroll down to the bottom, I would see all of Rick's contact information right there. Also, these websites are sticky. So now anytime that as a customer I navigate to one of those websites, Rick Jackson's agent information is always going to come up as the contact information, which is really nice for Rick, Kind of annoying for me because I navigate to many different agents' websites, but for agents, it's an amazing thing. So that's how you add a QR code to your property flyer.